Afternoon, VC. Dave and this camera are back at it. Did a video yesterday for Sam, and I realized that I've got, well, my CDs are all categorized by city, and it's just how I do it. So I have like two huge rows of just Barcelona. I have a row of New York, a row of Los Angeles, a row of Seattle, a row of Athens, Georgia, and the like. So it made it easy to pull all that stuff from Minneapolis. Well, there's another channel I'd like to talk about. That's Telegram Sam. She is in Portland. I think she moved there from the Seattle area, and great channel. She's one of the younger members in the VC. She did a great video with her mom, and yeah, I can relate to her. Her mom and I think are around probably the same age. Really cool video, and yeah, she's prepared. She has bought the largest collax made by man, and just, yeah, has a great town to dig in. Portland, phenomenal. I've been there once in '01, so it's been 20 years since I've been to Portland. But my brother used to live in Ashland, Oregon. For many years, he was a whitewater rafting guide / pro snowboarder down in Ashland. Had his own, I think he started the hat company there, GG Hat Company. He made his own hats. But anyway, yeah, been to Portland to get to Ashland, and you can ask my friend Joe. I mean, I had to wait for his flight to arrive, so we had separate flights. And Bin Laden walked right across from me while I was sitting in the airport. In '01. Yep, you can ask Joe the story, but yeah, that was him. What he was doing in Portland, I don't know. He had family in the States. I almost literally got myself up to get security in the airport to do something, and I was like, man, we got to drive all night long, all the way down to Ashland, which is at the complete opposite end of Oregon, like 5 hours. And I was like, if I do this, then I'm going to be detained or something crazy. So I didn't say nothing. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of crazy stories in this video. But yeah, Sam, again, she's in Portland. Very knowledgeable for her age. I mean, she knows her music history very well. Very well spoken. Shows some great records that she's finding. Digs some of the heavy stuff that I dig. And it's refreshing to see the youth still can get into great music, and not all this garbage digital BS. So yeah, we're gonna show what I've got here from Portland. A lot of it's on CD, so you know, you can turn off now or whatever, but I got some records here from these artists, just a few of my favorites. And no, there's not going to be any of the sailor music or whatever that stuff is out of Portland, Decemberists or whatnot. I had an ex-girlfriend that dug that stuff. I couldn't, no offense to anybody, John, but I couldn't do it. I mean, we had this whole scene here in Charlotte where all these dudes, you know, grow their beards down to here and got nautical tattoos, and the biggest piece of water they've ever seen is a fucking mud puddle. I mean, it's kind of like Gastonia here, the gas house, where everybody's got the Salt Life stickers on their cars. Yet again, mud puddle. That's the biggest body of water they've done anything in their lives. So yeah, I'm rambling. First band is going to be one that gets a lot of shit, like I just gave those other bands. But that's Everclear. And I think I first discovered Everclear. There's a lot of bands I discovered in college through this snowboard video. I wrote them all down, and I started picking them off one by one, what I could find. And back then there was no Discogs, there was no freaking anything. I mean, it was, you had to find stuff by getting out and finding it wherever. So I remember hearing this record, or well, a song from this record. I think Your Genius Hands, the opening track, Everclear, World of Noise. And this is an absolutely killer heavy record. What year was this? Yeah, 93. So yeah, I was, you know, sophomore, junior in college around that time. Art Alexakis, great guitarist, singer of this band. And I believe the drummer is good friends with Derek Higgins in the VC. I think he's since moved to Omaha, or yeah, that area. Trio, really good record. I'd love to have this on vinyl. It's very expensive now. It's over $100. I wasn't into the vinyl as much then, but I remember finding this the only time I ever went to the Galleria Mall in Buffalo. And that mall is like a 2-story mall, and that was, I couldn't believe that was in the record store in there. But that mall sinks into the earth like 1 or 2 inches every year. Like the whole mall sinks lower into the earth because it was built on a old landfill. Like toxic landfill. Like it's, yeah. The Galleria Mall. So yeah, once I got into that, I was like, okay, I need to go back and get their EP, Nervous and Weird, because it's gonna be real similar to that record. And we had one record store, well, we had 2 record stores in Fredonia, and one I think was Record Giant. I can't remember the name exactly, but I always ordered stuff from them because they had this big book, and you could just flip through, and you know, it was all by, you know, bands alphabetical, and find whatever their distributors had or whatever they could order, and you could just pick it out. And there was one other record store, I think it was In Your Ear was the name of it, and I think there's another store now called that in Austin maybe, or Boston, one of the two. But so I ordered the CD, and like a full month went by, and then maybe another week or so, and I was like, all right. I mean, back then it took a long time to get stuff. So I asked the owner, I said, hey, what's going on with that Nervous and Weird order? And she was like, oh, that's coming finally. She's like, I actually had to call the distributor, and I ended up talking to Tim Kerr from Tim Kerr Records in Portland. And he actually had to go to Art's house and into his basement to get a copy to ship to her. So I have a copy of Nervous and Weird on CD that came directly from Art in the band. And this is killer. Every song on this is good. Electra May Be Blind, Slow Motion Genius. This, yeah, awesome. Early Everclear is badass. And then I've got Fire Maple Song, which is an EP, and this is great all the way through. Fire Maple Song is one of my favorites from them. This has a song Detroit on air too, 1975. Great songs. And this cover should look familiar. It's similar to a Tony Williams Spring album on Blue Note. Very cool cover. And then I've got the album that kind of blew them up, Sparkle and Fade. And I'd love to have this on vinyl. I think Derek's got an autographed copy from the drummer. Again, this is another record on vinyl that's well over $100 now, or maybe $80 for a beater. But I'd love to get this on wax. This has got just great songs all the way through. Yeah. Electra Made Me Blind is on this as well. Heroin Girl. Heroin Girl is probably my favorite song on here. Santa Monica was the big hit. Heart Spark $sign was a big hit, but I didn't really care for that song. Halem's a good song, more like a punk song. But yeah, then what year was that? That was 95. So I got a bunch of the singles. Back when CD singles used to be fun to pick up, especially imports and whatnot, but I got the Heroin Girl single. This has a different version of Nehalem on it. A couple unreleased. And I've got Santa Monica single. That's a really cool single there. What's this got extra? This has an acoustic version of Heroin Girl, and it has a song called Sin City that was unreleased. It's badass. And an unreleased song, Don't Change. And then I also got Heart Spark $sign single. Again, not my favorite song from them, but this had the Happy Hour demo on there that I did not have, so I got that. And I'd love to have both of the big albums on vinyl, but I don't. Let's see. Next band is the band Elliot Smith was in before he went solo. That's Heatmiser. Their first album is Dead Air. And this one I still need on wax, and I'm going to show a bunch of wax here coming up. But I heard the song Stray from this, and again, I think it was in a video, a snowboard video or something. That got me into Heatmiser too. But yeah, this is one of my favorite bands of all time, right here. So yeah, let's see what we got down here. So they put out, after that first full length, which is phenomenal, they put out the Yellow No. 5 EP, which is also a killer. It's like on a white CD, which is cool. But I do have that also on 10-inch. And the opening song, Wake, is great. It was a hit for them. It's got a cool, it's on Frontier Records from 94. And this is the yellow, I think this is a reissue. Yellow reissue. 45 RPM. I don't think I've ever seen an original of this pop up anywhere. Probably not too easy to find anymore. But Heatmiser, just good heavy rock. Alternative stuff at the time. And then this masterpiece. Probably the record I play the most in my life. And that's Cop and Speeder. This is a perfect record all the way through. Not a bad song on it. Lots of groove. That's what it's about for me, the groove. I've worn this CD out. And I do also have, of course, the record. And this one's a relatively cheap record to get a hold of. Surprisingly. 94 Frontier Records. I think this is just regular black vinyl. And then their follow-up album, which I think is underrated still to this day, Mike City Sons. This has phenomenal songs on it, like Get Lucky and Low Flying Jets. Yeah, those two songs are absolutely phenomenal on that. And I do have an original pressing of this still in the original shrink. And I got a lunchbox here. This was a major find for me. The only time I've ever seen it on vinyl, and I grabbed it. I've never seen it for sale anywhere online, or just as far as like eBay. This doesn't pop up hardly ever. Yeah, 96 Virgin Records and Cavity Search put this one out. Phenomenal. And I think I got the CD. The CD I got at Papa found this in Papa Jazz in Columbia, South Carolina. And it's funny because I just commented on Dom's video. He showed the record Now I Got Worry from John Spencer, and that was the exact day that we were down there to see John Spencer on that tour. And he was in the shop and he bought a stack of records like that. I've told this story before. And he went to the counter and had them shipped back to his apartment in New York. I think he bought like $300 and some worth of records that day. And I found some great Soundgarden boots on CD, that Heatmiser CD in Papa Jazz that day. It was freaking awesome. The show was killer too. John Spencer playing through this crazy box that he built. You don't know what's in it. It's just crazy effects and stuff. Okay, so yeah, that's Heatmiser. Yeah, and the singers, there was two singers in Heatmiser, Elliott Smith, and they would was one, and they would rotate on and off in the songs. Both really good, both good guitarists. Yeah, it's a great band. The next band is another great one from Portland, Pond. And I don't have any vinyl of Pond. I wish I did. Sub Pop. I'm sure this is going to be hard to find if I go looking for it on vinyl. This one was hard to find even on CD for me. Their first self-titled full-length, alternative, good, more great groove. This was their hit record, The Practice of Joy But For Death. This is some kind of promo copy that I found. Also on Sub Pop. Yeah, this is probably their best record that they're known for. And then they ended up on the Work label and put this CD out called Rock Collection. And this actually is my favorite. This has the song, the first three songs are all amazing. Spokes, You're Not an Astronaut, and then the song Scoliosis is my favorite song, track 3 on this. I don't even know if this is on vinyl or not. I'd love to get it, but Pond, another great Portland band. And then you've got, Elliott Smith. He went out on his own, and he ended up moving to Los Angeles, but I've always considered him a Portland guy. So his stuff's in my Portland section. Yeah, and I used to have all his early stuff on CD. I don't know why. It didn't grip me as much as some of his other stuff, and I ended up selling those CDs, and I kind of regret it now. But this one is an all-timer for me. Either or. I love every song on this. This is an iconic record, as everybody knows. I've got a couple singles from that. Speed Trials, which has got Angelus on Kill Rock Stars. And it's got another bonus track. And I do also have the Either Or alternate versions, 7-inch alternate takes of Angelus, Alameda, Ballad of Big Nothing, and Punch and Judy. This is phenomenal. And then I've shown this, I'd recently got an OG of Either Or, and this has gone way up in price. I got this from Lunchbox here, and it was VG Plus record. It sounds unbelievable. Probably VG cover. It's got a little bit of issue, but phenomenal that I was able to get that. I do like the album XO. It's not my favorite. I think that was the album at the time where he broke through with Good Will Hunting. But I have a strange promo CD copy of it on DreamWorks. No clue where I got this. I couldn't tell you. This is some bizarre promo. I think actually maybe, I don't know, some rep might have gave that to me. I don't know why. And then there's this album I love the whole thing. Great artwork too, figure 8. There's a mural of this in Los Angeles for him. That's something I forgot about when I was in LA recently. I would have loved to have gone to where that mural is and seen that, but maybe next time I get out there. Yeah, I'd love to have this on vinyl. I think there's reissues of this that are affordable. I need to get the reissue because I am not going to be able to get I'm not going to pay for an OG when I got the CD. So yeah, Elliott Smith, brilliant singer-songwriter stuff, acoustic guitar, fucking one of the most brilliant humans to do it ever. Next is a band I don't think many of you are going to know about. Also from Portland. I remember I was up in Winston-Salem. I was actually filming a recording session for the band Dixie Lee Box. It's our friend Charlie Shearer. He, oddly enough, he now trains police officers or in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, of all places. I think he's a professor at the university there, some kind of criminal classes, whatnot. But he is, and it just doesn't make any sense that that's his gig, but because he is an amazing guitarist, and he was deeply involved in that whole DC Baltimore scene back in the day. I mean, if you watch the footage of Fugazi, the famous concert in front of the White House, he was standing on stage during that show. Yeah, and we were hanging out with him, and he's turned me on to a ton of great things. Daniel Higgs solo stuff turned me on to. It turned me on to this crazy label out of Brooklyn, electronic label, and this band here from Portland, The Standard. And they've only ever put out one record on vinyl, which I have, but their early stuff was on CD. Yeah, so the first CD was just self-titled on the Barbaric Records label. And the reason I started getting into The Standard was his description of the band. He's like, he got to see them live somewhere, and I can't remember where, maybe Chapel Hill or something. I can't remember where he saw them. But he said when they got on stage, they all set up in a circle facing each other. And when it would just, they would all play, it would get so intense because it was just this big, and I don't know, the way he described it, it was just intense on how they were all facing each other, the way they did that. I was like, oh hell, I gotta check that out. And yeah, this is really great stuff. It's different stuff, hard to describe. I'll try to leave some links to some of this stuff like I did in the video for Sam, the Vinyl Douche. And yeah, this is also Sam, Telegram Sam, that this is for. Yeah, then their next record, which is maybe my favorite, I know it's my friend Joe's favorite, The Standard. This is their album, August. This is on, I think, Touch and Go, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it looks like it's on Touch and Go. They started to get recognized, and this is a promo CD. This, again, I don't think this was ever put out on vinyl. Great record. And then they broke through with this record. They got signed to Yep Rock, which is a bigger label. And this is Wire Post to Wire. And this is a phenomenal record. There's some quieter songs on this, but there's just a lot of good, heavy, repetitive songs on this. Great, unique vocalist. Love the guitars. Phenomenal band. And I do have that one on double vinyl. This is fairly difficult to find. My copy is not in the best of shape, but it's the only copy I've ever seen. Yeah, there's so many great songs on this record. Yeah. And then they ended up putting out 2 more records after that. And I don't know why they didn't do vinyl on these, but yeah, they did Albatross. This is a great record, beautiful cover art, also on Yep Rock. I really love this record. And then their last record is not my favorite. It's okay. It's called Swimmer. This was on Partisan Records. Ooh, trying to break stuff here. But yeah, it's got a couple good songs, but not my favorite. But yeah, that's all my Portland stuff. Again, check out Telegram Sam's channel. I think you'll dig it. I hope everybody's well out there. Peace.